is David Marshall, and my thesis was getting into modding beyond Skyrim's Arcane University experience, where I explore beyond Skyrim, and through that, their recruiting system and teaching system called Arcane University, and I explore what that is and what modding is in general, and how to get into it. Very briefly, I'm going to explain what Skyrim, Beyond Skyrim, and the Arcane University are, and a little bit of what I did. I'm going to start out with Skyrim. What is Skyrim? Skyrim is essentially an RPG, otherwise known as a role-playing game. In RPGs, you have quests where you might rescue people, dialogue where you buy equipment, food, might just talk to people to find things out. You'll explore, find new places, people, and monsters, and fights where you kill those monsters and people. This is basically you inhabit the body of someone in the world of Skyrim, and you go around and act out their life. Since Skyrim was released back in 2011, Bethesda has since released other DLCs. DLC stands for downloadable content, and the content is more areas, more quests, and more characters that you can interact with, encounter, and explore. Fan-made or non-company affiliated modifications to the games are called mods. Mods can be anything from just a new sword in the game, a new house in the game, new quests in the game, etc. Beyond Skyrim is essentially a volunteer-based fan-made mod, but it's the size of a cluster of DLCs. Beyond Skyrim is the biggest Skyrim mod in development right now. Beyond Skyrim and partner projects are up on screen here. You can see the landmass that they encompass, and that red outlined area is what Skyrim is. And remember that Beyond Skyrim is kind of like DLCs. Well, if you see that little red circle, the island, that is actually an official DLC. Beyond Skyrim is the entire rest of what's on the screen right now. Skyrim took a professional company years to make, and took a professional company quite a while to make the DLCs as well. So this alone should tell you how ambitious this project is. So now that you know that, what is the Arcane University? Well, the Arcane University, otherwise known as the AU, is a community formed by Beyond Skyrim to train people in each discipline of mod development. Right up here, we have things like scripting and implementation, 3D modeling and texturing, sound design, voice acting, level design, writing, narrative design, 2D and concept art. All of these things need to come together to be able to make basically make what is a DLC work. They have to work at a professional level with producers and all the tasks put out as if it is a real company. And because of that, you need people to actually train this stuff to people. Otherwise, no one's going to know what they're doing. For my thesis, I applied my skills in their level design and game writing disciplines. I focused mainly on those, though you'll see more. I focused more on level design as the thing went on. The Arcane University also hosts ATOMs and lectures. These are basically conferences where they, throughout an entire day or a section of a day, different teachers at the Arcane University will present, and then afterwards you can ask questions and learn more about that. We also have assignments for level design, game writing, and all of the others, of course, where you will write things up or you will make a level, and then you will submit it and you will get reviewed. And that's how you move through that system. So, what have I done? Well, First off, I did a lot of lore research. Um, I uh, I did, yeah, 250 hours plus. I approximate that just because I listened to it a lot just for fun as well. But just to quick cover this, lore is essentially in-game history. Uh, I researched that via Skyrim in-game books. I researched it via the Skyrim wiki and YouTube and podcasts. I wanted to know the material really, really well so that I could make informed decisions when I was writing and when I was making levels, and so that things didn't get messed up and I didn't accidentally place something into a level that wouldn't make sense, or I write something that didn't actually happen in the history of the game or wouldn't line up. I also attended 11 events. Eight of these were toms, which are more generalized things, and three of them were either level design or game writing intensive lectures. I attended the ATOMs, yes, for level design game writing, but also to learn about all the other roles who I will be working with, because it's really, really useful to be able to mesh well with everyone else. And when you're game writing, you want to make sure that it's really implementation and voice acting friendly. When you're doing level design, it's a very similar thing with other roles. So in my time, I wrote 9 game documents. These There's like three main types. One of them is an NPC, which stands for non-player characters. These are people that you encounter in the world. They You will talk with them with dialogue. They may be a quest giver. They are kind of what make Skyrim come alive. Then there are quests, which have some different forms. Some of them may be very simple fetch quests, where you just someone needs you to go fetch something from across the canyon, or someone needs you to go buy something for them. They may be more complicated, where it involves multiple people. There may be multiple endings, or maybe it's linear. And all of that needs to be formatted correctly so that implementers and voice actors can get everything just right. Then there's also flavor text, which is essentially the in-game books that I was talking about back in the lore research. This fleshes out the world so that when you go into someone's house, the books on the shelves aren't just 3D objects that don't do anything. Like, you can open these books up and read them, and it is in-game history of what's happened. Maybe it's someone's diary. Maybe it's someone's logs for their business. Maybe it's the history of the town that they're in, or the province that they're a part of. Yeah, so that is essentially the game writing stuff that I've done. For level design includes making buildings, landscapes, and architecture that the players encounter. For level design, I did 4 levels, and I have 1 in progress level. The Lokir's Tomb, if you look top right, that was my first dungeon, and that has encounters mainly in it, where you encounter a lot of enemies and traps, etc. That was mainly my very first learning experience of how to put all of those things in engine. Then, if you look in the middle there, that's Gunnulf's Tomb. That was my second dungeon I made. I ended up doing a lot of custom scripting for that, implementing my own pages for hints, as well as implementing my own spells and traps, and a special secret door. Then there's Alkir's House, which is just a small house with storytelling and interesting lighting. Then I was also part of Hearthstone Isles, which has yet to be released, but that is a giant team project, and that is Serpent Spire Island on the bottom left. That I had to learn how to work with a lot of other people in making areas that link up together. Yeah, and then of course we have Moonchain Den, which is in progress, really, really big dungeon with narrative beats, and I don't want to go too into depth with that just because I haven't done it yet. Here are some in-engine view of these levels. You can see some of the different outlines of things. I will be able to go a little bit into depth on presentation day on that, but that's about it for now. So yeah, I could go on for hours, but thank you for listening. If you want to learn more, then in the description, I'm going to have links to my portfolio project page.